and buried in.
And we're looking at the competitors just before they come on for their warm-up. A big yawn from Victor Kraatz of Canada, who have to move up from 4th place. Irina, Anissina and Anissina-Peizerat lead. The Italians now on the ice. Then come the Russians moving off to the left, the Italians to the right. The Lithuanians to make up this last group. That is the position. There is one change in the top 10 so far. The Ukrainians have gone above the second Russians, to the surprise of many, and the United States seemed very unlucky that they didn't move up. Marika, Humphreys and Vitali Baranov finish in 15th place. There are 5 couples to skate, and down there as 10th. But we can just talk about them briefly, Robin Cousins. They did pretty well, didn't they?
They did skate very well. Got a little tired towards the end, but I think a much better performance than we saw at the European Championships, and a very strong performance from Marika. She was really on fire out there, and they did actually move up one place. The French couple not quite as good as we would have expected them to be, and had quite a nasty fall. But Marika and Vitali did a terrific job out there, and have again found themselves top 15.
Slight tendency still that she's the stronger partner, and that's been the case with 2 previous partners, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think Vitali does a very good job of presenting Marika. I mean, she is such a strong personality on the ice, and she's a very competent skater on her own and in her own right. And it's always going to be difficult to find that right partnership, but I think they have such a good cohesive sort of partnership on and off the ice, and that's made a big difference to them in the past couple of years. Now, these two know all about partnerships.
Indeed, they lead the competition. Marina Anissina and Gwendal Peizerat, they won both compulsory dances and the original dance too. Here are Margarita, Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas, who are in 5th place. It's very difficult for them to get on to the medal rostrum. French very much in the driving seat. Russians could beat them in the straight fight, but even the Italians here would need a little bit of help, even if they were to win the free dance.
Well, the draw's very interesting. The French go first, so the chances of seeing 6s for their performance, very unlikely. And it's the Lithuanians, the Italians and the Canadians, and the Russian advantage is that they do go last. We'll have seen most of the scores. They're in terrific form at the moment. I mean, they've really upped their performance level the past couple of days. Superb original dance. Many people thought they should have won it. They did get it on, I think, 1 or 2 judges. They got a 6 for presentation in the original. That's the Canadian couple here, Bourne and Kraatz.
They're in the dreaded 4th place. But, again, it's very, very difficult the way the point scoring goes for the various parts of the competition. If you're not in the top 3, to actually win it is pretty hard work.
But I think the top 3 are going to have to be faultless, and the 4th and 5th couples know that they really have nothing to lose, so it should be a terrific last group.
The Russians will go last. Among the many rumours that have been flying around in Lausanne, they were going to be the winners, we were told. Then, of course, there's been the story of the Russian judge voting for the French. Well, at the moment, he's been justified in doing so, more or less. I mean, there have been a few differences of opinion. The judging panel, incidentally, includes Mr. Yuri Balkov of Ukraine, who was suspended after his actions in the last Olympic Games, but is now back to skate. No Israeli judge. In spite of that, they are leading. There is an Italian judge, but no Canadian judge. There is a Lithuanian judge, and there is, as I said, a Russian judge, but no French judge. Shouldn't make any difference, of course.
No, it shouldn't, and I think specifically as a result of what's happened with the pairs, we have seen not necessarily changes in the overall positions, but certainly discrepancies among judges' individual marks, and 4th, 5th, 7th, 9th all coming up to the same person. So there are differences of opinion within the panel. Collectively, they've come up with the same results, though.
There's the man on the left, Ottavio Cinquanta, the president of the ISU, talking to the honorary president of the IOC, Juan Antonio Samaran. But he's come up with these new ideas of how the judging should be. They are revolutionary, and you have to take your hat off to him for trying something to prevent block voting. But on the evidence of the night, I don't know how 14 judges and 7 going in would have made that much of a difference, and on what they would have judged it, because this is so subjective in the free dance.
Yes, there are certain elements and lifts, spins, footwork sequences that skaters have to do, which does allow the judge to have something to compare it with. But in terms of the musical appreciation, skating on the weak beat, incorrect interpretation, unsuitable choreography, and inappropriate costumes are all deductions that could be made. So it is very much still a question of which one you prefer.
All those deductions could have been made for a number of the couples we've seen already this evening. None were. Here are the leaders. Marina Anissina, born in Moscow, Gwendal-Peizerat. And she lost her partner. She formerly skated with Averbukh, and she actually rode around trying to find a partner. well. A response from the crowd, which could be more ecstatic. And I have to say, I don't understand what one of the most compelling speeches of the last century from Martin Luther King and Washington in 1963 has to do with skating and a sporting event is completely beyond me. He dressed in chains, but their battle for freedom seems to me to have absolutely nothing to do with the civil rights movement. But the crowd not bothered, and I suspect the judges won't be either. But I think it's a trend that should be stopped pretty quickly.
But it was pure drama and theatrical drama, much the same as we saw in Lausanne when they regained their European title. I have to say, even though some of the couples who have gone ahead of them are not as competent skaters, we did see twice, if not three times, the amount of footwork and steps within the choreography, as we've just seen from Anissina-Peizerat. Beautiful skating as it is. But I would just love them to see if they could get their feet moving and do some footwork. The lifts are great, it's innovative. Some of it is new, some of it we've seen before, but it's what we expect from them, so you want to see what they're known for. But it is a lot of just crossovers and very lovely stroking and skating. This is the bell ringing. Ding dong, left and right. It's clever. It's quite innovative, but again, and that's what we know they've done now for a few seasons. It's the trademark.
I was saying at the start that when she ceased her partnership with Averbukh, she wrote around for a partner. She wrote to Victor Kraatz and to Gwendal Peizerat. Kraatz, skating with Shae-Lynn Bourne later, didn't respond, but Peizerat eventually did. And a lot of 5.7s there, a lot of room. 5.57s, 4.58s for technical merit. Presentation, pick up the 5.9s. 6.59s, obviously in the lead, and all the judges have them there, but how much is that going to change? If there's a split, it's the second mark that divides the skaters.
They represent Lithuania. Their new selection is a warm welcome now for Marina Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas.
Welcome for the Lithuanian couple, who were very disappointing in the compulsory dances, came back to form in the original. So let's see now what Margarita, Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas have produced. Face of Povilas, one of the husband and wife teams here, and their piece of music was called Quelque 3. Well, there have been several of those on their behalf over the years when they've not been given the marks that the public have thought they deserve. What about tonight, Robin, that performance?
Well, I liked it tonight. I wasn't that drawn in by it at the European Championships. We've always been big fans of their skating, and the quality of their work is always great. And it's always difficult when you are skating with music that is of a language that the audience cannot relate to, as powerful as the music is. So it worked in Lausanne for them from an audience point of view. The French understood it. A little difficult here, but they performed it much better as a piece here than they did in Lausanne for me. And I liked it as a piece. I still have a problem with the music. Is very hard for the audience to sort of get into, but the skating and the way they did it really drew the crowd in with them, with the performance. So it actually built towards the ending, and it got a much better reaction than I was expecting, and it's great skating. Again, they're competent in all aspects of the free dance. Original dance was much, much better. A bit of disappointment in the compulsories, but this was a very, very nice performance. Footwork steps required, twizzles. It's blade use, correct use of the edges. Timing interpretation of the music, skating with the music. Lengths of the lifts, how the lifts are entered, turned, exited. This is all taken into consideration by the judges when creating their marks.
Then a Tchaikovskaya. White pullover. Over the years, Lithuanians have been helped by Jane Torvill and Christopher Dean, particularly in choreography.
Then the marks for Margarita Drobiazko and Povilas Vanagas, Lithuania. The marks for technical merit.
They got used to waiting and then being a little disappointed with what they've been given. But the Russian judge and the Lithuanian judge come up with 5.6, so does Germany, so does Italy, so does Bulgaria, so does Ukraine.
And the marks for presentation. 5.8.
5.8 for Russia and Lithuania, down to the 2 5.6s at the end, all by one judge would have them second behind the French. That judge comes from Ukraine.
Vitali. Staying this for a while, representing Italy. Please welcome now our Fusar-Poli and Marika.
Italians go in lying in the bronze medal position, so they need someone other than themselves to beat the French, but the first priority is to try to finish first in this free dance. Fusar-Poli, Maurizio, Margaglio, the reigning world champions. That will cost them. No gold now, surely. Sometimes expressions tell you much, and she looks pretty close to tears. It was a very brief fall, didn't interrupt the program. He was quickly up.
But it is 4/10 minimum in the free program. Two to 4/10. They take the 2. They'll be lucky, but I think Barbara knows either way it has to be lucky if they can stay in the bronze medal position now.
Oh, they're being very sympathetic. Very good for all the skaters. The enthusiasm which they impart and the applause for the performance given.
I said in Lausanne when they performed this program, wow, because it was such a surprise that they could keep the momentum going. They were not known for their footwork, and he specifically, I said earlier, the second Italian dancer, male dancer, is actually a much better skater in his own right. But this, as a couple, is normally very good and very together. And he just trips over his toe pick. And straight back up into the step sequence, and it was actually a required sequence that they were doing at the time. But momentum carried them through in Lausanne, and unfortunately that fall really took the wind out of the sails for the rest of the performance, and there were a couple of other safety places where he was not so happy on his feet. It's very unnerving, especially sort of for dancers who are not used to it. Again, he does not have the best footwork. He was doing the lifting in spins, definitely the weaker partner of the two. You take the knocks as a team.
Not really very much that one can say. If you're a coach or just a helper. Well, I don't understand how the Italian judge gets a 5-7 on the technical side. Means he thought it was a pretty near perfect performance. 5 6s come up, quite a few of those. Presentation marks, though. They get a 5-9 from the Russian judge, and a couple of 5-7s, Ukraine and Switzerland. And the Italian 5-8. They are in second place. There are 2 would-be medalists still to skate.
Representing Canada, skating to Ilia, Fusar-Poli, Shae-Lynn, and Kraatz.
4 years ago in Nagano, when Shae-Lynn Bourne and Victor Kraatz finished in 4th place, there were great complaints about a fix. Nothing then was done. Things have changed during the course of this Olympic Games, but they have a real chance here to move up from their current position, which is 4th, to get onto the rostrum this time.
I know there was an ending that ended on the floor, but I don't think they quite meant to get there that direction and that way. Not dissimilar to the ending for Saleh and Peltier in the short programme.
Did a pretty good job of trying to disguise it, didn't they?
Reminiscent of the end of Bolero, I think.
Oh, that's following what David Peltier did, a little kiss of the ice. The crowd are slightly lost. They were all ready to open the lungs to the great degree, and then suddenly the two Canadians are together in a heap on the ice. But very enjoyable up to then.
Oh, terrific. Superb work. Very expressive, clever. Footwork was terrific throughout from both skaters. It just took Vic completely by surprise.
One male skater following another male skater off the ice and looking a little embarrassed, and not much he can say to his partner, who in this case is certainly living up to the words of the music. She is still smiling, Shae-Lynn.
Again, control. Not the most difficult or innovative of the lifts, certainly not in comparison to the French. But as an overall program, choreographically and step dance-wise, I preferred this, certainly over the Italians. This is their trademark move, now with an added extra turn in there for Shae. The last lift. From various angles now. He completely lost the balance in having to get her weight over his right shoulder, but she just threw herself into a position on the floor and he followed suit.
Well, I hope they'll be able to see the funny side of it tomorrow morning. Much will depend, I think, on what the judges are going to decide now. So, all for each. The applause of the crowd certainly being met, but the judges have already made up their minds. So the Italians had 4.55s, 4.56s and 1.57 for the technical mark. 2.57s, but there are 5.4s there. Presentation mark. The 5.8s come up, but the significant thing is place third. 4 of the judges, in fact, would have them fourth, and 3 would have them second, and 2 would have them third. Majority position is third with 1 to go. The final position could well be fourth.
Representing the Russian Federation, here are Lobacheva and Ilia.
Here are the couple who were in second place in both the compulsory dances and in the original dance. The Russians used to dominate ice dancing before the arrival of Messrs. T and D, Torvill and Dean, you must know. What now for Irina Lobacheva and Ilia Averbukh? As I said, in Lausanne, when the accusations of minds already made up were first mentioned, it was said that these two would win.
Free dance. Tremendous amount of passion and power. And the judges obviously now favouring a sweeping epic style of free dance as opposed to the dancier free dances. So the comparison has to be made between this and the French free dance.
Between the music of the harpsichord music was called Turn, Turn, Turn. Is it to be Russia's turn again after finding the title going to other nations?
I don't think this is one I'm even going to venture to try to call. Again, some nice, innovative lifts, spins, not the amount of footwork that we've seen from some of the other skaters, including the Canadians, the Americans, the second Italians. This is the axle. There's two sort of axles in the program. Second one. Again, great drama and flair in their performance. Superb skill, balance here and timing. What the judges think will be very, very crucial.
No obvious technical error, I think you would agree. So it comes down to personal preference.
The judges mark for Irina Lobacheva and Ilia Averbukh.
Anissina-Peizerat had 5.57s, 4.58s for the technical mark. There's a 5.6. But there are 5.58s, 6.58s indeed.
And the marks of presentation.
Presentation mark. 5.9s. That place 2. The French have taken the title. And they have taken it. As in the pairs competition, it is a 5-4 split of the judges. So Marika Humphreys and Vitali Baranov. Big improvement in the original dance after disappointing compulsories, well, particularly the first one. And now intent on giving it their all. She as ever intends on enjoying it.
This music right up the alley of an American audience. Good start. mistake there on the spin. Both skaters needed to be on one foot.
Well, the crowd liked them, particularly their lifts.
And in fact, so did the judges as well, because that performance was good enough to move them up one place to finish 15th. And that's good, first Olympics as well, and they've improved the programme since the Europeans.
Yes, it definitely looks like they've made some changes to me, and for the better. And they skated much more confidently just now than they have in the past.
Yeah, so you've got to say sort of what next for them. First Olympics, but I know they've been together for a while waiting for Vitali to get his citizenship, but now he does, and so the future it looks good for them.
I understand they want to continue to 2006, so I think 15th was a great position for them to end in. I'm really pleased that they made the top 15, and it's great.
Okay, Jane, thanks for the moment. Well, there's certainly